You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello, it's JPA here, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be discussing Rangers' trip to Armenia to face Alashkert in the second leg of the Europa League playoff. Just before we get into this video, I want to touch on something that I forgot to put in my last video, which was obviously the racist incident on the supporters bus. The reason I wanted to touch on it is because I didn't want anybody thinking that I condone this kind of thing, and I didn't want people thinking that I'm okay with it. I genuinely didn't include it in my video because I had other things to talk about, as you probably noticed in my last video, but I just wanted to touch on it. I think it's disgusting. Obviously the guy involved, and I think other supporters have now been banned indefinitely from away games, certainly. Disappointing after what happened with Kamara last season, that this is the things that grown men, it's not even like little kids or anything, it's grown men think they can get away with this and think it's funny. I really didn't understand it. The song was one thing, there's just no need for it. The eye thing, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this the squinty eye thing that the guy done, is disgraceful, should never happen. I'm really embarrassed about it, but it wasn't me, and it wasn't a lot of Rangers fans, so we shouldn't be too disheartened by the fact that somebody has done this. It happens everywhere you go, and it's not just Rangers, it's not just Celtic, it's everywhere you go in the entire world. There's going to be idiots like that. Real disappointing about it, but as I say, there's nothing we can really do about it now. These guys have been dealt with, and we just kind of have to hope that it won't happen again, but I can guarantee it will. Anyway, on with the video. So Alashkert versus Rangers, it's a 4 PM kick-off. Quite surprised on what channel it's on. It's available on BBC Scotland. That's the regional channel, Scotland. You don't find it on like normal BBC, you'll have to go to the kind of regional channels to find it. Or so I've found when I'm watching these kind of games. It's also available on the BBC iPlayer. I'd imagine it'll be on Rangers TV, but didn't quote me on that. This is a very interesting game, and I'll talk about obviously our team selection later on in the video, and we'll kind of understand why it's such a strange game for us. But looking at their form, they've lost 3 out of 3 games. Sorry, they haven't won in 3 games in the league so far. Obviously lost against us last week, albeit just at 1 goal. They didn't look particularly great, but it's an away game. It's going to be quite hot over there. It's in the middle of the day. It's going to be a really difficult away tie, particularly with obviously our players missing, which I will go into later on. Not really got too much to say about them. As I say, I didn't really see much of the game last Thursday night, but I didn't see a lot in them to think that they'll cause us any trouble. Having said that, we've been defending really, really poorly lately, so it remains to be seen how well we'll do. So now to Rangers team news, and I'm assuming you've already heard about this, but I'll go into a wee bit more detail, or as much details as I've got. Rangers have been hit by a COVID crisis. It's not exactly clear how many players have got COVID and how many are just kind of self-isolating as in close contact, but there are a number of players involved. Captain James Tavernier, Ryan Kent is involved, Alan McGregor, John McLaughlin, which obviously I'll talk about a wee bit about the goalkeeping situation in a second. Scott Wright is also involved, and as far as we know, Calvin Bassey. That's the players. Stephen Gerrard has been asked to sit this one out as well. Again, we're not too sure if he's got COVID or whether he's just been in close contact, but he'll not be travelling with the squad either. Makes it very difficult for selection. Good news is Kamara's back from his ban, which in my opinion should never have been banned anyway. Lundstrom and Roof have picked up suspension, so they won't play. It's a kind of guessing game of who's left really. We know obviously Morelos will play. I'd imagine Patterson will step in for James Tavernier, but Barisic will have to try and get back to fill Bass's position. Scott Wright for me is a big blow. He's been doing really well every time he's come in. Ryan Kent for me isn't a great blow, but the fact they've got Wright and Kent at the same time is a bit disappointing. But it gives a chance for the likes of Aribo and Hadji to play in there as well. So a number of call-offs rather, but there are a number of players in there. Fitness updates on Ryan Jack and Namdi Offabor. They're both getting closer to come back. Doesn't seem to be any time soon, but signs are that they are progressing well. Offabor is getting tests, and we'll find out in the next couple of weeks how he's doing with his heart condition. The number one thing is the goalkeeping situation. Now obviously Al McGregor's our first choice, John McLaughlin is our second choice. They're both out. I'd imagine Ross McCrory will come in. Robbie McCrory, sorry. Ross McCrory's away. Robbie McCrory, the goalkeeper, will probably start the game. I'd imagine Andy Firth will come in as the backup to that. But again, I'm not really too clued up on who's in the European squad. I don't know if that's been announced or no. I think you kind of get a wee bit of leeway when it comes to goalkeepers because it's a specialised position, but that's the two goalkeepers that we're going to have to look at. Really disappointing. If it was McGregor, then we could rely on McLaughlin. If it was McLaughlin, we could rely on McGregor, but the fact they're both out leaves us really short for this one. So in terms of prediction, I think what's happened to the team will deplete us a little bit, and it has affected how I think the game will go. I'm going to go positive though. I'm going to go Alashkert 1, Rangers 2. The way we've been defending recently, even without these call-offs, I think we're struggling. I think we'll concede, but I do think we've got enough in the tank to beat them and cause some problems at the other end. Morelos and Hadji for me as the goal scorers for us. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you think about the whole COVID situation. Put your wee thoughts in about the racist thing that happened. Obviously we didn't talk about it in the last video, but I do want to get your thoughts out there. I'd imagine you'll probably all be the same as me, and if you're no, and you do agree with these racist guys, then what to do is just unsubscribe to my channel. As much as I want more and more subscribers, I welcome anybody. I'm not welcome anybody that's got the kind of views, so if you are one of these people, then just unsubscribe and we'll see you on another channel. Right. That's it. That's pretty much the video done, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.